Okay, so I'm now recording our session. Parker, whenever you're ready, you can hit that green share screen button and share your screen with us. So for every lesson, you're gonna have three things: the interactive student lesson, the your turn, and a homework. And then I'm gonna give you a quiz on it. If on that quiz you don't score an 80%, that's okay. You're just gonna do it again, because this is an open book, open note test. You should be looking and learning as you're doing this. Eli can't hear me. Okay, good thing I'm recording this so Eli can look at it later. Parker, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you. Oh, he's almost gotten it there. Parker, you can unmute yourself if you wanted to. Okay.
Okay.
So you can show us around. So Parker is, I see part of his screen. He's going to his portal. We're just going to be super patient. Thanks again, Parker. I love my fantastic co-hosts. All right, I see the Holt McDougall online. Perfect. Love the adorable icon. He's going to take us all the way there.
What's with the humongous cursor? Why does he have a huge cursor?
Because it's adorable. Why not? All right, so do you see your look? Okay, you see where it says my assignments? It says homework, bell work, are you ready? There's a lot happening there. Okay, so, okay, Lily, I see what you're saying. There's a lot of weird things being named funny stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
I couldn't find the one that was named what you were saying.
got it. Parker, can you hit the blue my assignments? And can you show me that view? Okay, so when that opens up, you're gonna see the mod 8, that's old. You're gonna see the mod 10s. All right, so looking at the bottom, if you can scroll down for me, sir, where it says 9-1. All right, now, so, okay. Looking from the bottom up, let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth one, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth one up. The sixth one up where it says student edition 9-1 example 1. And then it says 9-1 example 1 your turn. And then 9-1 example explore activity. And then
Wait, there's, okay, so is it, from the bottom, is it the sixth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah, it's the sixth one from the bottom.
yeah, so lesson 9-1.
Yeah, 9.1 example.
Can you click that for us? Lesson 9-1 example 1, sir.
9.1 explore activity.
Oh, he's so cute.
What's so cute?
Natalie's looking at bunnies in her front yard. Okay, all right, we're gonna stay focused on math though, crazy pants. Okay, so this really helps me so that I can actually see what you're seeing, because I can see how this would be very overwhelming. All right, Parker, do you mind if I take over?
Okay.
Okay, can I click on stuff? Can you see my cursor moving around?
No.
Okay, so Parker, you're gonna stop sharing your screen with me. Thank you, that was brilliant. Well done, sir. Okay, so Dominic's like, which ones do I do? All right, so I want to show you. Now, when I go to Portal, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's fine. Week 1, you needed to do 1 homework assignment. I know I assigned 3, so again, I'm not going to stress about that. and then you have the your turn and the interactive lesson. What I'm trying to figure out is when I say do the interactive lesson, what's that look like for you? For those of you that did the interactive lesson, which is Callie and Eli and Grace and Dominic and Holly, where did you see that interactive lesson tile or spot? Unmute yourself, speak up.
I don't really know how to explain it, I guess. Well,
Okay, was
when
it,
you
okay,
first go into HMH, you'll see like a bunch of assignments, and I saw ones that said do blah, blah, blah. So I did those.
okay,
Yeah, for me it was just under assignments.
okay.
I did the
So-
same with Dominic.
Same?
Same thing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's just under assignment.
Well, for me, I kind of had to, well, it kind of like, when I first logged in, it like signed me out of my account, so I had to re-log in, and then it did that.
right, okay, so, go ahead.
On my thing, I was confused because, again, I didn't know like what was happening, and I couldn't find the things that were named the things that were supposed to be named.
Okay, so look at my screen right now where it says assignments.
Uh-huh.
The exponents
We don't
9-1,
We don't have that same
right,
interface.
right. I know yours looks different, but these are also the only ones with due dates. All the other ones say it's due like in October. So I can, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what to do, because some of you expressed like, hey, why don't you just give us all of our work so that I can do it at my own pace?
Hello? Can
but if
anyone
I-
hear me?
Yes, we can, hun. What's up?
I can't hear anyone.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna. Can you hear me? What the heck is going on with this thing?
okay. You can log out and log back in if you want to. I am recording still, so this will be there. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for this.
Oh, got it.
Okay, cool. 30 minutes, honey. I don't know the answer to this yet. I'm gonna figure it out, Lily. But
Okay.
right now, what I want you to do is when you go on there and search, you're looking for this 9-1.
Okay.
Anything with 9-1, that was week 1. That's what I want you to do.
Yes.
Cool? Does that work?
Yep.
And so this next week, I've deleted all of the assignments for 9-2 that weren't the ones I gave you, because Bryce is like, there's 3 homeworks. This is stupid. Somebody take them away. And that was awesome. Thanks, Bryce. So the interactive student lesson, though, that's the one with the cheesy video in the beginning. I'm going to repeat this again. Those of you who did the interactive student lesson and the your turn, which I assigned, did better on the homework than everybody else. So going through those activities is going to help you understand. Okay. You still have till all today, whatever, this weekend to do this math. I believe that is set up in the due dates. So if the due dates seem, Ginger, did you ever get it to work?
I did it on a different computer.
And it worked?
Yeah.
Yay, okay, good, I'm so glad. Because you were actually given 2 books, and so I was concerned that instead of this book, that maybe you were on the interactive whiteboard. So if you're here, like I haven't assigned anything on that, so don't go there.
I have a meeting.
All right. I am done with this, but so homework, lesson, your turn. So anything that says 9-1, go for it. I know Daniel and Gavin and, you know, others of you want to do all the math all the time, which is why I assigned all those other lessons, which is what we're doing in the future. But if it's too confusing, which I'm thinking it might be, then I can just delete them. Or I can just assign them to kids who want to move faster, okay? If you are done with 9-1 and you want to take your quiz before next Tuesday, you can shoot me an email. I will send you that link right now. You do need to score 80% or higher on next week's quiz. So to get ready for next week's quiz, I'm going to go over a few examples. So get those. Yes.
On the math HMH, when I was doing all the things that I missed out on, there were like 3 assignments, and some of them had they were really confusing because they had exponents with fractions and decimals.
Got it. No
Yeah,
worries.
I had the same thing.
And that was the work that was this week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you do the interactive lesson?
I think so.
I think I did too.
Well, so the people who did the interactive lesson and finished it were Callie, Eli, Grace, Dominic, and Holly. And that was as of an hour ago. So the people who went through that lesson and did the your turn, and all of those did, they all did very well on the homework. Because if you just go straight to the assignment, then it's going to be hard because you didn't learn it yet, and that's fine. So let's figure out what that interactive lesson for you looks like. And I believe that it's that book. So when you go to HMH, honey, I can't do that right now. It's one of these books, the Interactive Student Edition, right? And then you're gonna go to Equivalent Expressions, Module 9, Exponents. So this is that super cheesy lesson, right, that we go through in class, blah, 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 right? Okay, sorry. So I'm not gonna go through it right now, but that's what you would go through on your own. The Interactive Student Edition. So the Interactive Student Lesson. Should I take a picture of this? No? Yes? Okay. All right. Hopefully that's going to be helpful for you guys. I'm not going to mark anything late because we're still trying to find where everything is. Okay. So I'm nothing but forgiving and let's figure it out and let's find it. Like Ginger had to get 9 computers and sacrifice something. I don't even know. Okay, that was funny. No laughter. Okay, fine. All right, so moving on. So 9. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing. How do I do that? And where do we find the recordings when this is over? So Ginger, I'm going to put the recording of the video in the materials section in Google Classroom. So it'll be under Zoom and it'll have the date. Cool. Now, I'm going to share another screen. So get those pencils sharpened, get them ready, and let's learn a few examples about how to solve these questions, about how to, with the decimals and the fractions, and this is weird. And share screen. Okay. Okay, can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't need you to see me.
Yes.
I'm gonna minimize me. All right, sunshines, let's do this. The screen sharing is paused. Is it? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
We can still see you.
Okay. Oh,
Go to the bottom and it says start video or stop video and go to that.
there, did it work now?
Nope.
Okay. Is that better?
Yeah. What? Stop video.
Share. I'm sharing my screen.
Miss Kirby.
Yes, sir.
When I checked my HMH, the homework, it said I had 38%, but I did it last night. I did that last night too.
Okay, and then what, hun?
So I checked the HMH homework last night, and it said I had 38% because I didn't do it. Then I checked
Okay.
it today, and it said that I still have 38%.
It said how many? Okay, can everybody else besides Callie turn off of their sound, please? And what did it say today, Callie?
It still says I have 38%.
Okay, so I wrote down that the daily intervention, but on the your turn in the interactive lesson, you got 96%. So you're fine.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that question. So you're solid. All right, so when we're using exponents, so note taking time, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's do it, do it, do it. So for bases, I'm gonna use red. For exponents, Mrs. Kirby's gonna use blue. If I mess up, remind me. I'm gonna ask everybody to please, 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 please mute your computers. Mute it so I can teach. Thank you. So the power is when a base and an exponent are stuck together. So the base is the number that's multiplied, and the exponent tells how many times the base appears in the expression. What's up? So I'm going to ask you a few things. So use an exponent to write each expression. An expression is a mathematical equation that has no equal sign. So it's not a problem. It's not a math problem. It's a math expression. Now, so if there's three, there's three is my base.
Thing is frozen.
I can't hear you, dude. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of them. So my exponent is going to be 5. My, dang it, that was the wrong color. See, I already messed it up. Exponent is blue. I'm trying to make my exponents blue. That's the power. And how you're going to hear it is like 9 to the 7th power. So the same thing with fractions. Fractions can be to a power. The numerator and denominator do need to be exactly the same, like exactly the same. So how do I solve that? Well, we know how to multiply fractions, right? So we multiply all the numerators and then all the denominators. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, and then 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Well, 4 times 4 is 16 times another 4. Who's got my answer for me? Shout it out. Anybody? I got.
256.
Okay, so I have 256 times my last 4. Who wants to help me out?
I have to get lunch.
Okay, honey, that's fine. You can go, but when you come back, I need you to not interrupt, okay? Okay. What about 256 times 4? Waiting for my big brains. Come on, big brains. Does anybody else get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you saying it? I just didn't hear it. So that's going to be my numerator. Okay. All right. So let's use what we just learned. And then you would obviously then do the denominator. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So 4 times 4 times 4. So 4 times 4, we now know. Okay. So that's 256 because we already just did that. What happens if it's 6 to the first power? It's just 6. I'm trying to trick you. All right. Another tricky one. What about 1/8 squared? 6 to the first power.
Miss Kirby,
Oh, what's up?
number 2 isn't 256. I thought you said 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which is 256, but 4 times 4 times 4 is only 64.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So 4 times 4 times 4. How do I write that with an exponent? My base is going to be 4. My exponent is going to be how many times I'm multiplying that base, which is 3 times. So 4 to the 3rd power. Now let's look at number 4. 1/8 times 1/8. I'm double checking, making sure that is all the exact same base. Yes, they are the same base. So 1/8 is my base. How many times do I have to multiply it? 1, 2. So my power, or my exponent, is 2. Let's do one more for good measure.
3?
Yes,
Okay.
go for it.
Okay.
If you are unmuted and you don't have a question, could you please mute yourself? Thank you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 5s. So 5 is my base. How many of them are there? I'm just going to double check again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 of them. So that is 5 to the 6th power. Any questions on writing exponents in an expression? Nope, sounds good. Okay, someone is not listening because they keep, anyway, cool. All right, I have 2 more examples to show you. And then we can call it a day. All right. So when you're finding the value of a power, you have to remember that exponents indicate how many times you use the base as a factor. Okay? Yes, go. Are you yawning?
I won.
Yeah,
I yawned.
Yes, Natalie, what's your question?
So for the exponents, can they just like keep going on? Can they like never stop and just be the highest number of an exponent, or?
That's a great question. You could have 9 to the 200 millionth power. Yes. So when we get into really, really large numbers like that, or really, really small numbers like the amount of bacteria in your body, we end up using scientific notation with exponents, and I can teach you that later. It's pretty cool.
Okey-dokey.
Yeah, that's awesome. Ask your mom about it. Scientific notation is cool. Bye, Jacob. See you later, alligator. I'll try to post the video. All right, so let's finish these last 2 examples. So this is a rule that you need to know, and I will try and trick you with this. Anything to the 0 power is always 1. Always. So you could have 95,000.3. If I put it to the 0 power, it's 1. Okay? So that's just a little trick you need to like put in your brain, a little nugget. The second example, when you find the value of each power, you have to identify the base and the exponent. Then you do your math. So some people like to write it in this expanded version, and on your quiz that I'm going to give you, sometimes I'm going to ask you to do that just so that you can show me you know what that means. So it's 10 4 times. The other thing, if we're using decimals, we need to remember when we multiply decimals, it's going to get smaller. Okay, so I need to figure out who keeps unmuting their computer. I keep muting them all, Kellen, but they keep unmuting themselves, and I'm hearing their children chat in the background. So if you identify the base and the exponent, remember it needs to be logical. I know that when I multiply decimals, they get smaller. That's going to make sense because I know that from our other lessons. All right, so Dominic wants us to watch a video. Da, 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 da. Okay. Now, C is that tricky one. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Anything to 0 power is 1. Identify the base. If the exponent is 0, everything is 1. And that's just a rule that you have to remember. And lastly, here's a great fraction. Identify the base, and then with fractions, you multiply numerator to numerator, and then denominator to denominator. So let's do these last 4 examples, and then we're gonna call it a day. So 3 to the 4th power. So 3 is my base, 4 is my exponent. So I know it's gonna be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Okay, so 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times another 3 is 60, plus 21 is 81. So that's what that would be. 1 to the 9th power. I am gonna write it out just for fun. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But it's gonna be 1 because 1 times 1 is itself. That's a fun one. All right, this is gonna be a trickier one. I'm gonna need a lot more space. So 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 5th. And I'm gonna multiply all my numerators and all my denominators. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 is 125. And then 12 times 12, I got my base and the number of times, and I'm gonna have a fat 144. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna stop recording so that you guys can ask some questions.